All right, Troy Weaver has said that he prefers trades. He's comfortable with trades.
Yeah,
It's
he
the way
did.
you rebuild. So we have 5 trades, and each trade is with the top 5 teams in this year's NBA draft. So we're going to see how can we get that pick? How can we maneuver? So Craig, let's get right into it. The first one with the number 1 overall pick is the Magic. This is how we
Ooh.
could get that number 1 overall pick, Sadiq Bey, our number 5, and then a future first round. Your thoughts on this one?
Yeah. So this is interesting. We haven't seen these. So
That's right.
like we're reading it. We were trying to do something fun where it's like we're not seeing it. So if we think it's a garbage trade, we'll tell you it's a garbage trade. Then we think it's a good trade, we'll tell you it's a good trade. Would I do it? Yeah. And I would draft Jabari Smith. But I don't see either team being interested in doing this. For starters, I don't think the Pistons want to get rid of Sadiq. I think we're too early in the rebuild just to punt on the players we already have. I think they see a good future with Sadiq.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that future first round pick, right now we have a pick protected out to like 2027. And so that future first round pick, like how can we even like 2028? Would Orlando even be interested in that?
Right.
So I do think Jabari Smith is good enough where I would do it. And then I would trade Jeremy Grant to get back into the lottery. So we have another first round pick to replace where Sadiq is. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I
No.
I don't see the Magic loving this. It's not a all right, yeah, here's the first overall pick type of offer. And
Yeah.
so I don't think we love it. And you and I continue to say that we're high on our number 5 pick too. So that we're good there almost type of thing too. So I don't know how
Mm-hmm.
Troy sees it, but that's how we see it. Like we're all right there. So
Yeah, I feel all right.
let's go to the next one here. All
Beautiful.
right. OKC Thunder.
This will probably end up being 2 or 4 picks or 4 trades instead of 5 because we are the 5th pick. Just saying.
Good point. Yep. Okay. So, oh boy. So this one they trade out and give Isaiah Stewart the number 5 pick and then a future first round for the number 2 overall. What do you think of this one?
I still, it's the same problem that I have with the
Yep.
other one. Are they just ignoring the fact that we have like a protected pick that we owe? I think it's to Portland, right? No, not Portland, Houston. So like, why aren't they? Why are they forgetting that? So basically, you're saying Isaiah Stewart for the number 5 pick and a 2028 first round pick. That's a really long ways away. Like that's a really long way, and I don't know. I think for getting these 2 things, it doesn't feel worth it to me. And I don't know if it moves the needle for the Thunder either, because I feel like Isaiah Stewart, I think a lot of people view him as a glue guy that in his best role plays maybe 20 minutes a night.
Yep. This is not enough for the Thunder to go for. And you make a great point about it's a future first round. Yeah, that is true. But it's way out there in the future. It doesn't look good for them. They don't love it.
They don't love it at all.
All right, number 3.
Well, this is turning out to be not as interesting. Oh, we got something different. Here we
Houston
go.
Rockets. Here we go. All right. The Rockets would get Jeremy Grant number 5. We get John Wall and the number 3 pick. I
goodness.
love it. I love this one. Your thoughts?
Well, how many years does John Wall have left on his contract? We haven't seen this, so it might even say it. We'd eat their huge salary with cap space and clear $47 million off their books the next off season. Okay, so I love it. So here's the reason I love it too. I don't love John Wall, right?
Nope.
I don't think he's helpful. I think he doesn't fit next to Cade. I don't know if he even plays. He didn't play last year for the Rockets, so who knows what that looks like. I feel bad for John Wall if this happens because I don't think we necessarily want him to play. But basically, what we're saying in this one is we're good with adding another year to the rebuild.
Yep.
And next year, that is a built-in $47 million that we have in free agency money. And if that number 3 pick, if it's for Chet Holmgren, I hate it. I just want to make that clear. But if it's for Jabari Smith or if it's for Paolo Banchero, I'm in.
Yes.
like I don't mind that just because I am here and I'm now reading this article where it says if you hear someone screaming no outside your window, that's just me reacting to my own idea. I think that's hilarious because I feel kind of the same way because I'm saying I love it, but I realize I'm putting myself through another year of torture.
Yes.
I think that's the problem. But is it torture if you get to watch Cade continue to develop, if you get to watch Killian continue to develop, Sadiq's still here, Isaiah Stewart's still here, and you draft either Smith or Banchero, which take the Jeremy Grant's place. So you have a brand new top 3 rookie that you get to watch to develop. So
That's right.
while it might not be a year where we're going for the play-in game, it will be fun to watch these guys develop and see what the future could bring when we get to also add 47 million in cap
That's
space the
dude. So
next year. Think about next year, people. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to do another nerdy cap space video
yep.
where we talk about the Pistons. If they don't retain anybody, have 36 million on the books right now. That's bigger than the number we've been talking about. But that's if they decline options on Diallo and Jackson. So, like, we have that right now. We're a player for everybody in the NBA via trade, because when you have cap space, everybody just thinks you have to sign free agents. No, it makes you a partner in trades, and you can use that. Like, we're going to pay a guy right now to just get him off the books next year, and it's a ton of cap space. I love
Dude,
that.
you make a great point about that cap space is great for trading to make things, because when you're locked
Yes.
in, you can't, you're trying to match salaries, and but it's like, no, we'll take that off. We'll take that for you. Bring it. And we know
Bring
it's
it.
going to fall off. I mean, that's what, like you said about John Wall, that's what's huge there is that falls off. So then we got all this cap space, and then we get number 3. So I love it, or I like it. I started off loving it. Then you talked me down, then up, and then down. I am just like, hey, if this was to go down, I'd be all for it. If it doesn't, I'm good too. Let's go to the next one.
I like future flexibility. I'm
Yep.
obsessed with future flexibility.
But at some point, you got to
At
make
some
your
point,
move. We're still not.
at
We're
some point, the
still.
future has to become the present,
Yeah,
right?
but I still don't feel like, like getting antsy yet. I feel
No.
like we can
And
still.
that's why we've talked, like, in the only time we talk about trades where I'm like, do it is DeAndre Ayton,
Yep.
right? Like, that's the only time. So
Okay, so here's another one with the Kings, the Jeremy Grant, and then the future first round pick for the number 4 pick. So then we would have 4 and 5. That's kind of interesting. Thoughts on that one?
I'm in. Okay. That's really quick. That was really quick.
I agree.
Everybody calm down.
Everybody stay there.
Relax. I got pretty loud there. All right. He says this trade's complicated because the Kings don't have cap space, so they'd have to make additional moves. Okay, yes, that is true. They finally, I don't know if they've said this in the other one, but they're saying it does not convey until 2028, so that means all of these wouldn't convey until 2028. Here's what I will say. The idea, if one of the big 3 is still sitting there, and by one of the big 3, again, I mean Smith and Banchero, and you could get Banchero at 4, and then with 5, go get Ivy.
Mm-hmm.
Are you telling me you wouldn't want that?
Oh, that'd be so cool. I mean,
but does Banchero move the needle enough for you that you want him over Keegan Murray?
yeah, I think so. And the opportunity to get him, and then like you said, Ivy's still there, or however that would work, because maybe Ivy's already gone. Maybe something weird with Sharp or somebody we're not thinking about goes up there. Now you've got Banchero and Ivy.
Yeah.
And
Or
Cade.
what about this? Let's say one of the big 3 doesn't fall, and you get the 4th pick. So you take Ivy and you take Murray with the 5th pick.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're replacing Jeremy Grant with Keegan Murray. You're adding Jaden Ivey to your backcourt. And you're just like, bye, Jeremy Grant and future first round pick, which is a bummer. But if you have Keegan Murray, Jaden Ivey, and Cade Cunningham, and 2 of those guys end up being the dude, then you're not really as worried about that future first, because you're going to be in a good position.
Yeah, and if you take Ivy, the more I look at him, the more I think, man, that would be awesome. And so you still get Ivy and Murray, right? Like that's always been like, oh, boy, Ivy, I think we do need that, but then you miss out on everybody else. But if you can get both guys, man, that is like, I mean, Ivy,
that's huge. You're
Ivy
not being
that,
a legit competing contender for another 3 to 4 years, but man, it would be fun basketball to watch until then, wouldn't it?
Oh, and Ivy, dude, Ivy is just so explosive. So anyway, yeah,
Electric.
This is like, I would do this one all day. Would the Kings do it? I don't know, but because we again, we're talking about that 2028 future first round pick. Seems a long way away, but I like it for what we're doing. I would absolutely do this.
I would say this too. because I think this is our last trade that we're looking at with this
Yep.
video before we end. I'll say this too. When you look at we're giving away, again, it wouldn't potentially convey until 2028. If we get better quickly, it could convey in 2025,
Okay.
2026, 2027, because it's just lottery protected or top 8 protected. I mean, it's different every year. So your thought process, though, is if it doesn't convey for 4 or 5 years, or even 3 or 4, some of these rookies that you have on contract, you're going to have to make decisions. Are we going to re-sign them, or are we going to trade them? Like, because you can't re-sign everybody if they end up developing at a high rate. So you also, while you could be losing a future first round pick, you could be saying in 3 or 4 years that you're trading away a guy who's a good rotation player for you, but you don't want to pay him 20 million, like a guy like Sadiq Bey
Mm-hmm.
or a guy like Isaiah Stewart. So you're trading him for a first round pick at the same year that you're losing a first round pick. So you end up still actually having, I'll say it again, a first round pick.
And some flexibility. Yes, absolutely. So we're going to do the rest of the top 10 and make sure that you check out that video. So
yeah, it's a good video.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know if there's any of these that you would love or hate, and make sure you subscribe, and we will see all of you on the next one.
See ya.